Hi guys, this is Dr. Bhasha Mukherjee and this is
Bhasha's mom, Meeta.
Today we're going to do our 30 tips after completing our pro-longevity journey. We want to share with you 30 lifestyle tips that you can use to lose weight, reduce your blood sugar levels or insulin levels. I'm actually going to be reading the tips out, and Mum, you can explain them if you will. Okay? Number 1, add, don't take away. What do you understand by that?
Well, basically, our focus shouldn't be that, because you're dieting, you're doing some changes, means that we are depriving ourselves. So, because that's what diet comes down to, and that's when you're telling yourself, it's forcibly just depriving myself. So that's not a good positive idea, you say. So if we, instead of that, we say, no, actually, I'm going to add yogurt at every meal. I'm going to add some sprouts. I'm going to add vegetables.
Yes. Fill your plate with the good stuff, and then you'll be too full to eat the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? So add, don't take away. Number 2, park further away from your destination. So if you go into the supermarket, park further. If you go into work, park further away.
Yeah, and you can save some money as well, because if you are parking near town or
to go shopping or something,
workplace, I don't know whether you've got parking facilities, but a lot of people we don't have. So we are in city center, there's hardly any parking. So if you park away from town center and then you're not paying any money in parking, in the side streets far away, like for 15 minutes walk, 20 minutes walk, and then you're getting your exercise along with that and save money. So yeah.
Okay, this one's a tricky one. I'm going to ask you, then I'm going to tell you the third one. Number 3, shop with a basket, not a trolley.
Yeah.
Why? Do you understand why?
I do, because trolley is easy to carry.
Yeah.
So the basket gets full quickly.
Yeah.
So obviously you can't carry that much.
Yeah.
So, and also the thing is that when you do that, then you'll be frequently shopping, which is what we should do.
Fresh food, frequent food,
and what you need, that's all you buy. Don't buy extras.
Exactly.
Don't store.
Yeah. With the trolley, you just keep filling, you see, and you don't feel it. Whereas with a basket, you feel it. Okay. And the same with, having a smaller fridge works as well. Because then you're not...
I would say a smaller freezer would be better. Because ideally, we should not freeze so much. Frozen. But if you're working full time, 5 days a week is kind of hard, then you will have to have a bigger freezer. So a small fridge maybe, but you have to see it depends on your lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a case of, you have less space. If you're filling your fridge and freezer with the good food, and if they're smaller in size, then you're less likely to store desserts and all that stuff as well. So in that perspective, it's sort of in the same line as having a basket on a trolley. Number 4, don't buy shopping bags. Have your own shopping bag. Why do you think that works with lifestyle? Because you only have one bag, and if you buy lots of shopping bags, you can actually buy more food. So it's this very same concept as basket and trolley, basically. Okay. Number 5, shop from farmers markets or open markets instead of big supermarkets. Why?
Food will be fresh, local produce. You're helping the local people. You're encouraging them, and it is good for the economy of the local.
More importantly, supermarkets, they work under the same guidelines of trying to trick you into buying things, like having the sweets and the you walk into Asda and the first thing you see, they have their cookies lined up straight in front of the door, and as you're leaving, they have it right there. So they are trying to get you to buy the junk food and stuff.
And then if basically you're going for one item, you come back with 5.
Yeah, 10. Supermarkets.
So whereas if you go to a farmer's market, you will be attracted to the freshness of the fruits
Exactly.
and vegetables, and even if you take your kids there, it's good for them. I would recommend not to take kids at all to supermarket. Just minimize it, very like lessen it as much as possible.
Pay cash, not card.
Yeah.
So that worked with farmers markets. If you go to farmers markets, you can only pay by cash.
Yeah.
Which means you can only pay as much as cash you have instead of just
Yes, and then
swiping.
that means that whatever you plan to buy, that's all you're going to buy. You will not buy extra.
Yeah, so in that way, making a list and sticking to it really works as well, guys. Okay, this one, maybe I'll explain it. Eat carbs at the end of the meal. Or, like, try to eat the other parts of your food, like the protein, towards the beginning of your meal.
Yeah. And see, that's a very good thing if you can do it. But traditionally, we've never done that. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hardwired into us that,
So eat your salads. You can eat your salads first and then eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the concept is that if you trigger your insulin first, then you get a massive spike with your carbs. Yeah. Whereas if you have your salads or your proteins first, there's a smaller insulin spike, and it's sort of a more it's a more steady spike rather than a so that's what you don't want to do. So but that does work. Even if you don't understand the science of it, try to do that. It does work. Even in the smallest amount, it really does work. Number 8, freeze half-boiled pasta or rice and then reheat. Yeah. So Graham told you. So we learned this from ProLongevity, guys.
Yes, definitely. He said that if you half cook your carbs and you freeze them, and then before eating, you just like one day before you take it out, put it outside or put it in the fridge, and then reboil it or reheat it, like heat it to so that it gets soft, or just you cook it again. Then obviously your the carbs change.
Yes, the structure of the carbs, the chemical structure changes basically. So the carb content almost reduces, and the way it affects your insulin reduces basically. The whole point of this whole journey with ProLongevity has been about reducing that insulin spike and eating in a way that reduces your insulin spike. Okay, number 9, ditch all vegetable oils and swap them for your animal fat or dairy fat or extra virgin olive oil. Of what olive oil in
basically general. If you use the main issue here will be that they are going to be expensive, and as I see from an Asian point of view, that we are a bit like, oh, expensive, so I'm not going to spend that much of oil. Or if you're using animal fat like ghee or butter, you're going to end up using less of it.
Yes.
And you'll get a better taste of the food. So you're cooking anything in animal fat will taste better.
Okay, so number 9, ditch all vegetable or seed oils and swap them for ghee, butter, any dairy fat or animal fat, or olive oil. Can you explain the science behind that?
Basically, the seed oils are mass produced and they are not very healthy for your heart and your health in general. So we're changing the oil into like the other things which you just mentioned. The good point about it is that it's good for your health, and another good aspect of it is that because they are a bit more expensive than the regular vegetable oil, you will end up using less of it and less usage, but still the food is going to be more delicious, tasty, because animal fat brings out, it's a nice,
it has the
aromatic
proteins of animals, products essentially. And another thing I want to say is that seed oils, they actually start burning sooner, so they actually become rancid and horrible, so you're actually eating something very toxic when you're cooking them. Whereas olive oil and ghee and butter, they actually stay stable even when you're cooking in them, so they don't start burning and go into that point of toxicity as such. So that's the real science behind it, and of course the way they're produced is not very good either. So we recently discovered this. Number 10, olive pomace oil isn't real olive oil. Yeah, that's a real thing. It's actually a cheaper version of olive oil, and just because it says olive in it, we think it's healthy, but actually it's about as bad, or roughly about as bad as seed oil. So what you really want to do is olive oil, and just check the ingredients, or extra virgin olive oil or virgin olive oil is the way to go. Number 11. This is not for you. This is for the young people and those of you who are safe on your feet. Run up the stairs instead of walking up the stairs. This actually works because you need to try and get every opportunity to get your heart rate up. And I think every time I've done this, I got into a habit of this, and it really, really works. And it's something similar to sort of being a bit more active when you're walking, sort of walking fast, or when you're getting from one point to the other, doing a little bit more rather than carrying yourself all slow and sluggy. And posture, holding your stomach in, holding your back up, and all this all works towards burning those extra calories. Okay, this has worked for me. Number 12, fidget. You're a fidgeter, Mum. Can you explain why that is good for you? Fidgeting
keeps you active, isn't it?
Yes. And actually you don't want to be sitting still for longer than half an hour. We're coming to understand that sitting for half an hour actually, or longer, actually overall reduces your lifespan, because it increases your chance of getting heart disease and heart attacks. So the more you fidget, the more you sort of like on your toes all the time, the better it is. Number 13, do it together. What do you understand by that, Mom?
Basically, if you're doing any of these things, changes on your own, you can't stick to it unless you do it with a family. It's important that you involve everybody and do it, and it
spread the message as well.
Keeps you motivated, and it's much more achievable then.
Absolutely. Number 14, walking burns more fat than running. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
And do you know why?
Why?
Because when you run, your body needs quick energy. So it actually goes to your sugar stores, your immediate energy. That's why you can't do it for a very long time, you see, because it depletes your sugar stores very quickly, and because it's a quick energy thing. Whereas if you go for a long steady walk, your body's actually going to go to your fat stores to burn that, because it doesn't need that quick energy, so it can go that steady release. So that's another tip for you guys. Number 15, avoid water after 8 p.m. I didn't used to believe this. Why do you think this is?
Because probably you'll get up so many times in the night, which you don't want to do, because then it disturbs your sleep. Yeah, that can be quite challenging for a lot of people, because quite a few people are used to drinking water like at night, isn't it? Like, so, I drink a lot of water at night, and I do get up. But
yeah, I'd say I recommend you carry a bottle of water with you throughout the day and drink throughout the day, so you're not having to drink a lot. And also try to avoid very salty, sugary or carby heavy meals at night, so you're not feeling thirsty. But just have a teeny bit if you have a bit of water before bedtime. It actually showed me results in a week. Literally, I was having poor sleep, and one night I didn't drink water as such. I woke up and I drank two glasses. You must wake up and drink water. That's fine. But try not to have it before, because sleep is really important for weight loss, for avoiding that whole insulin spike thing, diabetes, COVID-19, everything. Sleep is paramount to good health. Okay, so that's the tip again. Vitamin D supplements.
Yeah, that's very important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because vitamin D depletion causes a lot of problems, and
it causes fatigue. It causes low mood. It causes low motivation. It causes all these things that will secondarily cause you to develop these other bad habits. If, for example, you will not feel motivated to do walking or exercising, you will not have the energy to do something like this, ProLongevity, or all these factors. Vitamin D is actually way more important than it's ever given credit for. So if you haven't, get your vitamin D checked. And it's also a great protective factor for COVID-19. There you go. Right. Okay. Number 17, accountability, keeping a diary. Go on. Of your food.
Yeah, well, in that case, you know how you feel on a day-to-day basis, what is changing, what is impacting on your weight. It's always best to keep a diary. I know we say like, well, we've got a mental diary, but it doesn't work. Mental diaries don't work. So
I think more than that, for me, what really, really matters is that I can see it on paper, and it's accountability for me. You know, I am visualizing what I'm eating, and I feel guilty when I write down what I've been eating, the naughty foods. And when you start seeing that, then you automatically don't want to do it again, you know.
Sure.
You're actually registering and recognizing these poor habits that you've got. So I think that's a really good idea to start keeping a diary of what you're doing. Number 18, water, 3 liters a day. You don't drink enough, Mum. Why is water important? I mean, I think it's
important. We all know about it. It's just the question of getting into the habit of keep drinking. When you drink, you will feel the difference. Your skin, in general.
Most of the time when we are craving food, we're actually thirsty. We're dehydrated, and we think we need energy, but actually we need water. We are dehydrated, and you know, the water is a great way to suppress hunger as well, especially when you're going through that phase when you're transitioning from a old diet lifestyle to a new diet lifestyle. Water is a great thing to have, and have it warm. Have your food warm. By the way, that also adds to your hunger suppression and satiation. Hot food counts. Okay. Number 19, keep snacks out of reach in the car or in the garage, or not in the house at all.
Yeah,
why?
That's even better, because if they're readily available, you're going to be just, you feel like eating them.
It's a case of your motivation. Most of the time when we eat snacks, we're bored, and if we're bored, we're probably not going to want to go out, or we're going to feel too lazy to make an actual effort to go get it. So the further away out of your reach it is, the better. And also, if you don't see it, you don't think about it, you don't feel hungry, you don't remember it, you don't eat it. That's how I see it. Okay, we're nearly there. Okay, number 20, fasting.
Intermittent fasting. It resets your body. Your digestion system needs a bit of rest as well. So throughout the day, if you're eating, just in the night you're not eating, but you are sedentary, you're sleeping. So during the daytime, you need some time off from eating. So hence about 12 to 16 hours.
Yeah, 16 hours is the 12 after 12 hours is the point when your body starts to burn fat. But other than that as well, it's got great scientific benefits that we've seen in terms of longer life, less likelihood of memory loss, and brain function is retained if you do this fasting thing. It's been said in every scripture almost to do this fasting. Fasting is recommended in lots of cultures, and we understand why now from a science perspective as well. It's really been working for me. I think it's a great thing to do for modern lifestyles, because you don't have to worry about making food, eating food, taking time out for food and all this stuff. Okay, right, okay. Walk to work instead of having breakfast in the morning. And that's to do with the fact that people say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's really not. People say that it helps to stimulate your system, essentially, to get your system up and running. Well, actually, you can do that by just walking to work, or just having a morning walk. That also triggers your system to wake up and stuff. So food is not the only thing you can do to wake yourself up. You can have a cold shower, or a shower, like any shower really, but a cold shower is better, to wake yourself up. All these things are ways to trigger your body to get up
Not
and
a
going.
cup of coffee, always. No. Coffee isn't.
Coffee's got its own benefits, but you know, if you're chugging down lots, maybe you should think about why.
Everything in moderation.
Yes, absolutely. Number 22, low fat doesn't mean healthy. If something has written on it low fat, it doesn't actually mean healthy.
Yeah, this is a biggest problem we've been indoctrinated to, like basically low fat, looking for diet things.
Diet Coke, diet this, low fat that.
Low fat yogurt, low fat milk. Well, we used to have low fat. It's really hard to get back to full fat. But apparently, there is no proof that the fat we eat adds to the fat.
Yes, and more importantly, if a company is selling you low fat and the thing still tastes nice, gotta wonder what else have they added to it. So that's what it is, and they usually do add some pretty nasty stuff in there
with something else.
Yeah, and that's not good for you at all. Okay, I'd rather go for something that's naturally got fat in it and it's natural fat rather than
comes as it is in nature. Yeah,
exactly. Don't drink your calories, eat them, and that comes with juicing.
Yeah, this is another thing of modern life. Make everything into a
smoothie or a juice.
It's a big thing these days. Smoothie, easy. It's not easy. You still have to keep all the things, ingredients, like bring them together, do the whole process of making a juice. Why? Just have it as raw. Just have it on the go. Have a fruit thing, with you. Carry it. Have an apple, 2 apples, oranges. Just carry and eat on your way to work. While you're walking, you can just have the fruit on your way. Smoothie concept. It doesn't help.
It doesn't, because when you're eating, you're getting the satisfaction of eating. Your brain's registering that you're chewing, and then it's going down your gullet. So there's a whole process to it. And you're also eating the fibers in the fruit. You're breaking it down manually. It stays longer in your system, and it actually has better satiation than just drinking something. And also fruit juices, they have a lot of added sugar in them, especially from the shops. So that's a little added tip. Okay, being cold uses more calories. This doesn't need any explanation. If you're cold, your body uses up more calories. So there you go. Number 25, carbs are sugar, literally. So, you're thinking if you're not eating any sugar, then you're healthy. Well, think about your carbs that you're eating, because you might be consuming your sugar in the form of carbs. And carbs always, shoot up your insulin as well. Okay, number 26. This one you might not know, but I'm just going to tell you anyway. Don't eat when stressed. Fast when you're stressed.
Yeah, to be honest, that's actually helped me. It actually helped me. I did that when my blood pressure was up. And earlier I would eat more because my body needs it. I'm stressed. My body needs more energy. But in fact, in older days when we used to fall ill, when we were young, fasting was one of the things. They would to cut down in the food. They would give you very easily digestible, simpler food when you are ill. That was traditionally done. But then the whole pharmaceutical company things came, the all allopathic medication came into existence, and you had to eat, otherwise you'll feel ill, even more ill without medication,
so it depends. Obviously, when you are unwell, your body does need more energy because it uses up more energy. That's different. We're talking about when you're stressed out. The stress hormone cortisol actually, when you're not eating, when you're stressed out and that hormone's high in your system, it burns fat. But if you eat at that time, it stores that fat.
Okay.
Because it's all to do with the fight or flight reflex, you see?
Is that why
if you stress eat, then you'll put that on.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas if you stress fast, you lose more weight. Okay? Okay. Number 27, Use smaller plates and teaspoons to eat.
You do that, don't you?
Yeah, smaller plates and teaspoons to
Yeah.
eat. Why?
Because you're fooling your brain into thinking that your plate is full
Yeah.
and you're eating a lot, but
Yeah.
like 100 times you're eating.
Exactly. So what you're doing with the smaller spoon is you're actually taking smaller morsels, which means you're going to actually chew it for longer, which is better for your digestion. But you're also, again, what you just said, fooling your brain into thinking you're eating more. It's all about fooling our brain into thinking we're eating more. Number 28. 8 weeks or 40 days is how long, roughly? Is 8 weeks 40 days? No, it's not.
4 weeks is 30 days.
Yeah.
So 8 weeks would be 60 days.
Is it?
Yeah.
60 days. Okay, just over 40 days. So 40 days. 40 days, you need to do 40 days of any new habit for it to set and for it to show effect. So if you're doing anything for just 1 week or 2 weeks, don't expect fast results. It doesn't work like that. And I think you can be you can actually you can tell with your own body that with the first week, second week, your body overreacts in one way or the other. But over time now, do you feel that you've almost
my body is settled down
really go
into
back?
a new habit? Yeah.
You can't really go back to your old ways anymore, can
No,
you?
no.
Because now.
I can go 20% up and down, That's the leverage you have to give. But mainly, your structure of the habit is being laid.
Okay, number 29, we're nearly towards the end now. Reducing blood sugar actually reduces high blood pressure. This is something you've learned.
Yes, I have. Over this whole period, my blood pressure has come down.
Yeah, when you lose weight, when you lose your, reduce your insulin spikes, essentially, and actually has a direct effect on your blood pressure levels as well.
It has affected my blood pressure, definitely.
Number 30, this is your tip. Adding vegetables to everything and lots of spices to everything.
Yeah.
Everything, rice, everything, dal, everything.
Just make the food interesting, basically. Make it
more
interesting.
Textures, and then you're also getting your vitamins through your vegetables as well.
Just invest some more time in food, but look into the food what you're eating, basically, not in carbs. Just food shouldn't be eaten or prepared in a haste. You prepare with attention, with love, and even if it's for your own plate, and then you'll see the results.
Thank you for watching, guys. That's all of our tips. See you all later. Bye bye.
Thank you.